Good morning from down under, everyone. My name is Romance Blitz, and we're continuing our Let's Play of Rogue Trader, Lex Imperialis DLC, and Void Shadow DLC. This should be part 35 in the video, and we are continuing our assault on the Heartless Void Ship as part of the Lex Imperialis companion quest. So without any further ado, we shall begin. So if you've been liking the series, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Otherwise, let's offer a toaster to the algorithm, please, and let us commence. If you've been waiting for an opportunity to currently rescue a rogue trader from under fire and earn her regard, it's time to act. Alright, so it looks like we are playing as our new friend. So we get an option to do that. It's kind of nice that there's a new little marker for, it looks like, not companions, familiars to interact with.
I'm on lookout.
Don't go down here. Now run like little girls away from us. Fine, we'll go up this way. Go up this way.
Need us to dig around. Got it.
Alrighty.
Crush him!
Alright, well, let's see if we can get this achievement. Which is have Glade Eye bite 5 people. I think there's a kind of an easy way to do it. So we're going to try it. So we'll run through all of them. Endure. And we will actually just hold off from hitting anyone for now. Don't a brief reprieve. Maybe because we just want bodies. Oh, did I put the... Oh yeah, I did put the wrong one. I meant to put him at the back.
The line.
That's my bad. Alright, it doesn't actually change anything. We'll go here.
Eyes on the objective.
And we'll try to
Directive accepted.
go there. We'll endure.
Understood. Executing order.
And we'll just hold off for a little bit. Alrighty.
Later,
Pop that.
we're undertaking this task.
We'll pop. Sure, should be fine to not do anything else. Alright, so we'll do this.
One of us would be enough.
I was kind of expecting...
Let's test our skills, Glato.
Out of my way!
Maybe I read that wrong.
Hold
It's a bit
on!
unfortunate.
Let's get
I
to
was
it!
kind of hoping to do protect a
get
couple
to
of
it,
times. Oh well.
Taking
On
fire.
in, maggot.
Here we go!
You won't escape the Emperor's
Let's
justice.
make it quick!
Scum! Requesting backup! We need to regroup!
Yeah, I guess this isn't the time to try and get the achievement. I'm sure we'll have chances to get the achievement during random encounters with our void ship, so I'll just hold off on it. It's fine. So I will fix up one thing. I will make sure to put you back there, you up the front, and we're just gonna open up on everyone. So
Directive accepted.
wing there. Go for a little bit of a walk. Sparta kick this gentleman.
Understood. Executing order.
Alright, bullet
Directive
hell.
accepted. Understood. Oh, by the Lex Imperialis! There will be no pardons for the guilty. Directive accepted.
Maybe we can try it again now, I suppose. I'll pull out a quick save. So 7 minutes at me, he's 4 ways, and the next 3 overseas cost 1 action.
See what a cyber mastiff is capable of. Glato, we're undertaking this task.
Okay, so it did do something there. That was 2.
One of us would be enough.
3.
Let's test our skills, Glato.
4.
Moving into position. Glato, we're undertaking this task.
Yeah, I guess we can hope that was enough.
Out of my way! Hold on!
Time to slow. Let's get to it.
Report!
Let's get to
Taking
it.
fire!
Barton kick you.
Understood. Executing order. Directive accepted. Understood. Report. Threat neutralized.
Alrighty.
Securing execution position.
Buy one. Yeah, I'll buy another one.
Directive accepted. Secure the target. My judgment is final. Directive.
Squish. Guido.
One of us would be enough. Mark the target. Let's test our skills, Glato. Understood.
You won't escape the Emperor's justice.
to it.
Let's get to it.
Report. Threat neutralized.
Kick.
Directive accepted. Understood. My judgment is final. Securing execution position.
Do that. First
There are
down.
no innocents. Directive accepted.
Later.
Glato, we're undertaking this task. One of us would be enough. Let's test our skills, Glato. The order is clear.
Alright,
Understood.
charge.
Report. Threat neutralized.
Alright, I'm just gonna quickly pause it to see if I got the achievement. I don't think I did, so. Okay. Yeah, so it turns out I didn't get it, which doesn't surprise me. I'm not sure what technically constitutes a bite and whether or not I just have to wait until I have more skill ups and everything, so. Ah, good boy. What a good boy. You will get many pats and a dog treat from us.
Let us not dawdle.
Simon, I'm pleased that you wish to be close to me in battle, but why so pointed about it? The competent warrior axe is very sweet, but you're not hiding anything. Let us go together, we were surprised to gain over a small army. Sounds reasonable, let's move out. Alrighty. Alright, so it wasn't my first bit doing that. It turns out when I got up to this part, I accidentally might have unselected Able, not realizing Pascal was unselected. So I only had 5 party members and I kind of had to go back and redo it. So I will quickly look up my notes for his level up. Which is this one here. First use of an overseer ability costs 1 less AP. Then he wants Pew Pew. And we're going to give him Athletics. And then we're going to want this one. Alrighty. Let's actually have a look at him. We'll quickly sort the stuff out here. Run and gun, control shot. Dogger. 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 Dogger stuff. Firearm mastery. Apprehend. Overcharge mastery. There we go. Cleveland Slaughter. Interesting. Okay. These weapons skill and strength, has 10 movement. Okay. Sure, there's some other stuff here and there. Gear for our good companion. Oh, never mind. I see. Yeah. May as well. Plus strength for more damage. Yeah, that's fine. Um, Pardon me. Look at that. May as well have a look at all that, I suppose, as we're doing this. We're going to want to put that on him for reasons that make sense soon enough. Those two. And since we don't really have a good helmet for him, we can just put that on him. You may as well have that as well. Alrighty, we'll get that quick save. And we'll go in.
I always keep my options open.
Alrighty. Have a look around. Yeah. Yeah, we'll go with that option.
Your arrogance will be your downfall.
Alright, so this is a race against time battle. So we're gonna just Alpha Strike and try and get our tactical nuke that is our character online. I do not know why he's going before Cassia. It's a bit interesting. So we got two people there that are quite tanky. We need to get back and shoot these power generators, so Pascal, you go there. Magenta. Pascal is there, it's fine. Cassia. There, it's fine. Solomon there is fine. Our good boy there is fine. Keyboard and our road trader. Go over there. Alright, so deploying the Alpha Strike.
As the
So
Emperor
we'll do
commands, I act.
And we'll do that.
Cleanses the body. Doubt is
Buff
for the weak.
ourselves. Put a shot in that. Then Cassia is going to do that.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
And then pop
If I
that
may,
down. And something like this.
I am a navigator, not a servitor.
Then can he reach a grenade from there? No. Can grenade that though. So he will.
It won't take long. Target eliminated. Glato, we're
protect.
undertaking this task.
Request approved.
Emperor, deliver us.
Alright, Cassia is going to step over here. Maybe step over here. Maybe
Isn't
forward.
this a job for the serfs?
Well, that was kind of reverse effect, but oh well.
I'm not
that.
accustomed to being ordered around.
We will buff our character. Then our character will
If I may,
go.
It's as good as done.
Do that. Then
On it.
do that. Pop that on him.
You should
That
feel honored to witness this,
is
lad.
lame.
Well executed.
So that ends the majority of the people there. And then Cassia can find us our
in the
Agenta.
name of House Orselio, I
So
shall
swap for a
prevail.
Horizontal. Oh no, should we just use the annual
As the
bolter? 1,
I'll do it.
2,
Faith eradicated.
3. And
Doubt is for
dash
the
over
weak.
here.
As the Emperor commands,
Running
I
gun.
act. Rejoice in battle. I'll do
Shoot
it.
him.
None can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Shoot
This
here.
is
Shoot
why
that
I
one.
was chosen.
Shoot that one.
Eradicated.
End the turn. End the turn. Then Pagenza's turn.
As
Grab
the
one
Emperor
sorter,
commands,
do
I
that.
act.
Buff myself. Do
Faith
that.
without deeds is worthless. As the Emperor, none can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Bolt a pew pew. We'll go over here.
I bring mercy and retribution.
Turn off the reactors. Blade
Let
dance.
not the righteous fear. May their blades be
Oh.
sharp.
Alright, interesting. Alright, in that case, I'm just going to run away
This
from
goes
this person.
against the tenets. Trust me.
We'll go
The
over
guilty
here.
will fall.
Wait, I can do that, I suppose. Glado bite. And Glado come back.
One of us would be enough. Understood.
Oh,
I've faced worse than this.
I'll make it
inflame.
happen.
And move over here. Pop
Who,
that,
if not
pop
me?
that. Did that to you already.
It's as good as done. I'll make
Attack
sure to
myself.
return the favor one day.
Oh, that missed.
The scriptural prognosis is favorable. Let's make it quick.
Help me, Lord Captain! Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
Out of my
I
way.
faced worse than this.
I am a
Hold on.
navigator, not a servitor. Step aside. The navigator is coming. Me, try to die with grace, at least.
Oh, he spawned something.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around, if I may.
Pop that on him. Argento, if you'd be so kind just to,
God Emperor, move through
kill
me.
this thing with
Be
excessive
the
force.
fire in my heart. I'll do it. As the Emperor commands, I act.
Flesh is weak, yet iron knows no pain.
I will leave footprints of scarlet as the tenets demand. Come,
Push.
the other side awaits. Trust
go
me.
there. Leap,
As honor ordains.
squish, and fight over. The boarding mission tended to be more dangerous than expected. I believe additional compensation is water. That's awfully tempting. I want to have a look around first. Alrighty, so we'll pick up everything. Okay, we can add that to the cargo, we can add those to cargo.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
What was this? That could be interesting. I'll have a look at this.
This Explorator is blessed with multifunctionality.
Don't need that. All that stuff can go in the cargo. This guy was clearly dealing in some xenotech. Interesting.
Is there money to be made?
There we go. And pickpocket these guys. Actually, in terms of staffs, this one. 15 willpower. That one's fine. I should honestly be swapping over to willpower stuff before I hit my nuke button. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about that, I don't think.
The machine god grants me insight.
Oh, that would have been a nice sniper rifle again for someone who we don't have in the party anymore. It looks like that's everything on this boat.
Keep your wits
So
about
we
you.
will go back to our bridge. Alrighty, and I thank you, my knight in shining armor, for being so valiant and solicitous. You are a dreadful liar. Are you saying you don't enjoy my company? That's where you get 1,000 scrap. Hmm. 1,000 scrap is nice, but I don't think you really get challenged in scrap. So even though this one costs profit factor, we'll have it repaired. Oh, we do get another rope. Okay, we'll go with that. I'm not sure what the other ones do. I'm sure by the time I do my second playthrough, or I should say my third playthrough, second one of Lex Imperialis, I should say, there'll probably be more info about that stuff, but it doesn't really matter. Profit factor is not hard to come by this game. So reports are the last thing one feels like after a battle, wouldn't you agree? Would you like to find out? So it looks like um, we got a special privilege with the law. You have entertained me, employees that did not air in granting you this privilege. Did you enjoy sharing a bed with the road trader? I think we should do this again once in a while. What makes you think an affair would harm our working relationship? Admit it. You didn't actually enjoy it. What if I ordered you to continue our affair? Very well, I will respect your opinion. Alright, so that's all that done. Alrighty. So we should have our companion finally. It's a companion quest, audience of diabetes. So that's Dragona, so we don't need to worry about that for now. Our profit factor has certainly been taking a hit though as of late, but not much we can do about that just yet. Now I suppose we'll go have a chat with our little friend. I'll throw a quick save down.
Greetings, Rogue Trader. I would like to report that Glato and I have finished our initial inspection of the upper decks. The list of infractions ended up being 5 pages shorter than expected. I'm beginning to worry that a servant of the Lex might have little to occupy himself with aboard your ship.
Hello, Glato. You're a fine and loyal companion, aren't you, Glato?
I must remind you that Glato is a living weapon. If you like the number of fingers you have, do not touch the dog.
I'm still going to pet him.
I am sure a rogue trader can afford the best implants. Have you decided to make an exception for the Emperor's anointed, Glato? Fine. Congratulations on your achievement, rogue trader. Glato has never allowed anyone to do that before.
Does Glato have a favorite type of training or some other pastime of choice?
Sometimes I let him play with heretics' corpses. That was a joke. If you're asking about entertainment, that concept does not really apply to an Arbite's dog. But I like to imagine that Glato is enthusiastic about training with me, that he enjoys running long distances at my side, and during target practice, he always seems eager to hear me give the attack order.
That can't be all of it, can it?
Fine. Let me satisfy your curiosity. I do have a special exercise that helps to sharpen Glato's hunting instincts. I take a few ammo casings and hide them in hard-to-reach places. One time, after a raid on a manufactorum, I gave him a whole abandoned workshop to run around in. But I also played a trick on him by throwing one casing onto a ceiling beam. Then it was Glato's turn to play tricks. He waited under the beam until I walked up to him. Then he jumped onto my shoulders and climbed to the top. He cut my temple open with his claw and almost broke my clavicle, but he got the casing.
I think you and Glato could do with your own training ground. I will order a space be prepared for one of the compartments and have it outfitted with everything you need.
The equipment needs to be sturdy. Glato is unstoppable when he's not holding back. Thank you.
Give the dog a piece of dried meat here, Glato.
Glato is not a house pet, rogue trader. Trying to feed him will get you nowhere. He only eats out of my hands, and only at specific times. Strict training. It protects the Cyber Mastiff against deliberate poisoning and other ill intents. Basically, don't waste your time or your meat.
Glato down.
That is a useless command, rogue trader. A Cyber Mastiff must always be in an advantageous position to attack the enemy. Glato can crawl or move stealthily if the situation calls for it, but regardless, he will not respond to someone else's order.
Serve with duty and honor, Glato. Am I imagining it, or do you seem relaxed?
I doubt such a word could ever be accurately used to describe an arbitrator, but there is some truth to your observation. Since we're not in combat, I permit myself to stand at ease, which is to say, I'm standing by on full alert.
Good, that means we converse like normal people.
A rogue trader and an arbitrator. You have an interesting notion of normality. Well, I'll try not to disappoint you with my conversation skills.
Tell me about the Adeptus Arbites.
We are servants of the God Emperor's law, made manifest in the Lex Imperialis. The Adeptus Arbites uphold order on the scale of the Imperium and bring merciless punishment to offenders.
What type of crimes do you usually handle?
The most significant ones. Beyond the Expanse, the Arbites not only enforce tithe collection, but also ensure that every planet obeys his law and that the Imperium's authority remains unchallenged. Corrupt governors, crime syndicates, rebels. Not a minute goes by without some parasite trying to take a bite out of the Imperium. We destroy any who dare trespass against the law.
So if you see someone trying to murder an innocent man whose life is relevant to maintaining order in the Imperium, you simply walk on by.
Unless said man's innocence has been previously established, such as during an investigation. In any other scenario, murder is just a common disturbance. My intervention is only required in the case of an attack on an administratum functionary or some other important figure. Then, I must take measures. However, if I have an assignment to carry out, I will ignore any distracting factors. The duties of the Arbites are above everyday crime. We collect the tithe that feeds the military might of the Imperium and sustains its authority over many worlds. To be bogged down in trivialities is to commit a criminal waste of time and resources that have been granted to us to serve the absolute of the law.
Well, Minoris did fall on your watch, ...
Your suggestion that I could have prevented the disappearance of a star sounds almost flattering. And yet, I never dodge responsibility. Let the Emperor, in the hour of his final judgment, determine the measure of my guilt in what happened.
What about witches and arch-enemy cults?
Those are indeed the greatest threat to the Imperium, and I never leave a heretic I meet without a bullet lodged inside him. But such matters are primarily handled by other forces, which are influential enough so as not to be mentioned out loud without a reason. I am at your disposal.
Just how far did the powers of the Adeptus Abites extend?
As you saw for yourself on Rykad Minoris, quite far. The Arbites passed the sentence and carried it out summarily. Only the highest echelons of Terra and servants of the Inquisition and rogue traders here in the Expanse can expect the privilege of a trial. Planetary governors, nobility, clergy, to an arbitrator, they are all equal before the law.
Let's talk about the Lex Imperialis. I'm curious to know how you interpret its essence.
Testing me, are you? That is fine by me. The Lex Imperialis is both a code of law and the word of the God Emperor himself. For millennia, his decrees have been amassed and preserved on Holy Terra, in the Hall of Judgment, alongside the High Lord's orders. It is at once a titanic collection of edicts and a holy text.
But every world still has its own laws.
It does. Your capital world operates under the Lex Dargonis, formed over many generations of the Von Valancius line. However, the Lex Imperialis is the final word in every debate. It stands above any legal directives a planet may have, for it comes from the Emperor himself.
It sounds as if it's impossible to know the Lex Imperialis in its entirety.
It would take longer than a lifetime to read through even a fraction of his law. But there are fundamental, integral prescripts that every arbitrator knows verbatim. These are the Injuncta Cardinal, inscribed on the walls of the Arbites precinct fortresses and etched into our ammo casings. We quote them as the indisputable truth and recite them like psalms as we charge into battle.
There is a reverence in your words that almost feels religious.
As it should. The codes of the Lex Imperialis are my prayer, and I believe that every arbitrator's service is sacred, for it brings this imperfect reality closer to that inscribed in the Book of Judgment, closer to the God Emperor's will.
Let's talk about something else.
I'm listening.
What is the mission of the Adeptus Abites in the Cronus Expanse?
To collect and guard the tithe. That does not mean we ignore other violations of the Lex Imperialis. We simply act within the scope of our limited resources, the first of which being our small numbers. Here in the Expanse, many believe themselves to be too far from the civilized parts of the Imperium to have need of the law. The presence of the Adeptus Arbites helps to remind those people that the Lex Imperialis is in effect wherever there is at least one human being.
That will do. I wish to know more about you.
You prefer to have a better understanding of the people you travel with. That makes sense. Ask.
Where are you from?
Port Wander in Calixis. The gateway to the Expanse, a monumental station, always covered in ships and bursting at the seams from all the dealers, pilgrims, mercenaries, and criminals. Compared to Port Wander, Footfall is just a lifeless rock in the void.
Where in the Chronic Expanse were you living prior to coming aboard my ship?
On Dargonis, Lady Theodora gave the top level of one of the spires over to the Arbates. A noble house used to occupy it, before it decided to stick its hand into the dynasty's coffers. By offering us such prominent lodgings, your predecessor both reinforced her ties to the Arbates and made an unambiguous gesture toward the nobility. She was a shrewd woman and unforgiving.
How do you find Jogonis?
I must admit, I was pleasantly surprised. I'd expected something far less civilized, given that the Coronis Expanse is on the outskirts of the Imperium. Instead, Dargonis may even compare to some Calixian worlds in status and stability.
How'd you become an Arbiter?
How? The short answer is the Schola Progenium. But I doubt you'd be satisfied with that. My father was an arbitrator, a good one, or else they wouldn't have found him in an alley filled with bullet holes. Someone who served with my father told me he was shot with 10 different weapons, and that he took at least 4 of the bastards down with him. I was sent to the Schola Progenium right after that, and the mentors there forged me into an arbitrator. I was an eager student, thanks to the example of unyielding duty and dignity my father set for me. The only thing I didn't need to borrow from him was hate. He didn't instill that. It was always with me. I never doubted that criminal vermin deserve only execution, but it was my father's death that truly crystallized my hatred, made it complete.
Were you able to avenge your father?
No, I didn't want to. There was a time when I wasn't sure what to think of my father's death. Or rather, I tried not to think at all. I didn't look into the case, or for any other reason, to go back to Port Wander. Arbitrators are never assigned to their home worlds anyway. But when I was leaving Calixis, our ship spent several days docked at the station, and so I permitted myself to go to the spot where my father was killed. I stood there for a while, and nothing. I knew that another arbitrator would have already seen the investigation through. I had nothing left to do there.
Hatred does not come from nowhere. It must have been your father's influence.
It's possible. He didn't speak much. Sometimes we went days without saying a word to each other. The only time he was talkative was when he was going through his cases at night. He would inform me in terse and simple words who had sold out and why, what depravities the heretics from the lower hive levels had committed, what base motives the workers had had for hanging their foremen. All I did was listen, watch, and think. That was enough.
You haven't said a word about your mother. Who was she?
From what my father told me, she was a principled woman of poor health. She died in childbirth. Not having known her might be the sole regret of my life.
Did you just make up a sorry tale, or did it actually happen?
It's all true. I am a second-generation arbitrator, and my father is as dead as it gets. I wonder if being killed in action runs in the family. I guess I should hold off until I have a kid.
What brought you specifically to the Cronus Expanse?
You should ask the Marshal. I got my assignment, and that is all I know. I assume it's due to my experience. Collecting tithes from worlds bordering on savagery, and where people haven't seen a living arbitrator in 3 generations, is a task best left to a veteran.
A transfer here sounds more like a banishment to me.
This isn't banishment. Otherwise, the same would apply to the Marshal and all other arbitrators in the Coronis Expanse. We are here because the Imperium needs its tithe, and that's all there is to it.
What kind of assignments do you handle before you were appointed to overseeing tithe cases?
I suppose I have what you would call a proven and diverse track record. Investigations, rebel suppressions, punitive raids, dozens of completed operations.
Have you been on any especially dangerous cases? I'd like to hear about your accomplishments.
There was this one time. I was part of a raid on a gang of mutants. I excelled in battle, received an award, and was promoted to Proctor. That is all.
You are not getting off that easy, Solomon. I need details.
Very well. Have you ever been eaten alive? I have. That raid I mentioned was compromised. The enemy had been tipped off to our operation, and we had walked into a trap. Some mutants decided to chew my arm off. That was a mistake. Since I couldn't free myself, I pushed my hand down his throat, grabbed something inside, and used him as a shield. While the thing was gnawing on my bones and spraying me with ichor and my own blood, I opened fire on the rest of the scum. That little maneuver bought my unit a few critical seconds.
I'm fortunate to be fighting on the same side as you.
Fortune has little to do with it. You have formed an alliance with the Arbates, just as your predecessor did. My presence here is only the expected result of your decisions.
Let's talk about something else.
I'm listening.
I want to talk about what is happening between us.
Are you talking about the night we spent together? I do not think we should attach any greater meaning to it than it's worth.
It could turn into something more.
That would be an impediment to service, yours and mine.
About your Cyber Mastiff.
You hear that, Glato? The rogue trader herself is asking about you.
What do you call him, Glato?
His serial number is GL80. Glato is easier to say in Gothic. Many give their cybermastiffs striking names like Slayer or Thunder. I'm fine with Glato.
What can your dog do?
He mostly provides combat support. He is trained in both lethal and non-lethal ways of disabling a target, with the ability to analyze a situation and then decide on a course of action. Glato is a good tracker too, and he can spot basic evidence. He also knows over 100 commands. In general, he is more resourceful and diligent than most people I've met.
What about his Dogmatics?
Glato, ready! The frame is mostly metal, with armored plates covering the vital segments. The jaw is reinforced. Crunching a leg off is like tearing a hair out for him. I don't even know a tenth of all the things Glato is fitted with, but it's an impressive list to be sure. Take the sensors in his nose for one. A cybermastiff is like an odor analysis laboratory. Alright, that's that. Glato, attention!
What commands does he know?
They range from kill and guard and the like, to more complex guard and patrol protocols. A protocol is a combination of behavioral patterns, which the cybermastiff follows according to the present situation. In other words, I don't have to control Glato all the time. He can adjust and react to the circumstances on his own.
That will do.
As you wish.
Is Glato fully servitized, or is some part of him still a living dog?
Generally, cybermastiffs have all aspects of their animal nature removed, but Glato is a special case. His submodel takes a dog's loyalty and instincts as a hunter and guard, and renders them absolute. He is neither a dog nor a servitor. He is something much more. A cybermastiff, a living weapon in service of the law.
You talk about him as if he has told you not feel attached to your dog at all.
Glato is not a pet. He is an instrument of justice, as am I.
Did I mishear, or did you just say you consider yourself to be on the same level as your dog?
Him or any other weapon that lies in the hands of the law. Only my service to the Lex Imperialis determines the level on which I stand.
Proctor, evidence suggests that you're not quite so indifferent to Glato as you want people to believe.
Impossible. You found me out. Yes, I am 1/100% less indifferent than I let on.
Yeah, he listens to you then?
Correct. Both his training and his augmetics ensure that Glato only accepts orders from me or from my superior officers. Apart from having the obvious benefits, it also serves to prevent disarray on missions involving multiple cybermastiff handlers.
I see. It must feel strange for you to be without your unit.
I've never been a part of a rogue trader's escort before. That said, I adapt to change more quickly than you might think. And as long as Glato is with me, I can handle any transition.
I have other business to attend to.
You know where to find me, rogue trader.
Alright, with that, we'll call it an episode there. So it's good that we got our new companion. I believe we only really have one more that we're going to be recruiting. As you can kind of guess what might happen to the other one. So, thank you for watching, everyone. If you've been liking the series, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Otherwise, I'll catch you next time.